welcome to another episode of Double Coverage. Zach Martin, just kidding, Michael Emami.
And I'm Asia Cymone Smith.
Asia, it's good to have you back. I'm glad we're back. This is a lot of fun to bring this to you again.
I was not expecting that one. I was like,
Just
am I
kidding.
having deja vu right now?
Well, we are back with with another episode, and it was funny because right before the Sunflower Showdown and before the Chiefs played the Commanders, Zach and I did Rush together, and we're kind of approaching that with Friday Football Fever coming up as we're winding down on the shows.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a little bit sad. I do get a little bit sad knowing that high school football season's nearing its end. But you know what? There's plenty of great matchups headed your way, and we're going to talk about that in our second segment. But what is heating up right now is high school basketball. That's what I'm grateful for.
I'm excited for high school basketball. Also
Yeah.
college basketball, though. Can't
Yes,
skip over that.
Exactly.
That's already started.
That's already started, yeah. And as opposed to one starting in December, this one's already started as of Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of which, WSU hit the floor for the first time this season, and it was a pretty good opener for him, Asia. Karan Boyd getting a double-double.
Yeah, I mean, the way they finished, I think, was extremely impressive. They started out a little shaky, and Coach Paul Mills even mentioned that after the game, saying, we expect those flaws to happen in the opening game. I mean, not perfect, but they really finished strong. They went on a 15-2 run to end that thing. So very impressive win, of course, against UNC Asheville. So they're undefeated now against Big South opponents. That's kind of a cool stat to put in there. But like you said, Karan Boyd, I mean, it's so interesting to have so many fresh faces this year. Oh, you're watching the game, and it's just completely different team from a year ago. A whole new starting lineup. But Karan Boyd was a great guy to watch. Also, Kenyon Giles, just a clutch player. He just made a whole show out of that game. So impressive. He had 20 points, game high, 15 of those in the second half. So again, they came out in the second half, and that's where things really started to move. But such a fun player to watch.
Yeah, and that arena was pretty electric. I mean, not packed to the brim. But several thousand still there. It got pretty loud. It's a couple of those early threes, but I was a little bit concerned in that first half with how things were going to go. But Asia, as you said, it really started to pick up steam down the stretch. Got another team coming in on Saturday. So with this 1-0 start to the season that they do have now, how do you think things are going in coming up to this weekend?
I think this one gave them good momentum going into the next game, but also the lineup might be switching. It's still early. I don't think they have their starting five locked in completely. Jarrett Valencia looked really good in their scrimmage against Drake, but he sat out in this past game this week, and they put in TJ Williams. TJ Williams did a great job in that position, much better than he played in their scrimmage. I mean, he's shaking out the jitters. First college starts, he's getting there. So, but I mean, if you see the lineup start to switch out, you see Jarrett Valencia join the lineup. Apparently, he's day-to-day right now with undisclosed issue. So if he joins that lineup, I think that'll also give them some extra punch. But Prairie View A&M, I think they definitely got this one locked down. So I'm excited to see that. But I mean, even having TJ, I'd love to see him again stay in that lineup. Yeah. The crowd went crazy for him to get out there. That was fun.
I can imagine. We talked with him a little bit before the season started, and those I think it was a media day where everybody. So basically, the way this works is all these players are just sitting around the court on couches or on chairs or whatever it is, and you get to pick who you want to talk to. And I was like, all right, I'm looking for local guys. So I found Henry Thengvall. I found TJ Williams. And TJ had a swarm of media around him. I had to fight guys off to get there with him. But it was nice being able to chat with him because he was telling me, like, all the importance of playing in this gym, in Koch Arena. Again, he lost a state championship with Heights. He was hurt at the beginning of last season. He was like, you know what? I'm really itching to get back out there and make a great memory. And Asia, it seemed like he did that in his first game.
It really did. He finished with 6 points. He was also very helpful in getting some second chance baskets there. And I think it was exciting for him and also probably some pressure. I mean, that's a lot of waiting time. That's a lot of time to spend just waiting for your moment to come. But, I mean, he's been so patient. He's so deserving of this moment and the support he's getting. So I was really excited to see him out there. It's like I don't know him personally. I don't know his family like that, but I mean, I still feel it. I feel the excitement around his return and how much the community has really embraced him. So
it is really nice to see a local athlete come back and make big waves like that. And obviously the audience, and we were there, by the way. We took selfies with Woo, which was a lot of fun. I want to kind of talk about the pregame festivities and the atmosphere, because we went live in we ran the gauntlet 4, 5, and 6 that night. You were obviously in our 10 o'clock on Tuesday. I just want to talk about the atmosphere because that was so much fun, being out there with the student section, taking all those selfies with Woo, getting into it. I mean, just kind of take me through your emotions. I mean, you've been here for a couple years. I mean, you've seen Shocker basketball just completely turn on its head in 2 seasons since Mel got there. 15-19, now 19-15. It does look like they're going to level up.
It definitely does. I mean, it was, like you said, it was so fun being in the student section.
Yeah.
We were right there with the cheerleaders. We basically were on the cheer team for the day. They were crashing our live shot along with Woo. He decided he wants to be part of KSN's sports department. So great reporter, great guy to listen to there, Woo Shock. We love him. Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty cool to be right there in the middle of things. And I do think that things are, like this season, Paul Mill's 3rd year, it just feels like a whole new energy. But it comes with having a whole new team. You know, he's started out piecing pieces together with players that were here before him. And this year, only 2 players from last year, but it's really all his roster that he's built. He's chosen out the portal and from high school talent as well, and JUCO talent. And I think that he is really looking like this is going to be a good year for him to build the team that he's been wanting. And I'm excited to see where they go.
I'm really thrilled that we are in this moment because, you know, I'm new around here. I mean, I know Wichita a little bit. I know about the Shockers a little bit from those 2013, 2012 seasons back in the day when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Busted my bracket. Now we're getting to March Madness talk. But, you know, knowing Wichita State and how big of a deal it was around here, I was very impressed and excited just to see what that experience was like. Being in a Division I arena like that with a community that's so intertwined with its basketball team is something I will not soon forget. So having that experience was a wonderful thing. But that is the American Conference. The Big 12 is another conference. And they got KU and they got K-State. And those teams right now with great freshmen and with great transfers. KU, obviously, the freshman phenom Darren Peterson is off to a tremendous run. In his first season, there was a lot of hype surrounding him. KU felt a little bit upset. They were ranked at number 19. I thought that was because they had so much unproven talent on that roster, and then Peterson comes in his first game and just explodes.
Yeah. I think so too. I mean, you follows those games a lot more than I did. I was really focused on the Shockers this weekend, but I am excited to see how KU does. I know they have a lot of motivation chip on their shoulder, and but I mean, you probably are a lot more into those teams than I'm Shocker blood through and through over here.
Yes, it is fascinating because you look at the Big 12 in particular, and you look at the American Conference. I mean, I would love to see KU and K-State. I mean, I always love interconference rivalries. That to me is great. And there have been times where KU has come down here before and they've matched up with a Big 12 team, and it's always great because you've got the Sunflower Showdown, which obviously being football versed, we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah.
But you know, having them make the trip down here and seeing the other side of the rivalry as well with Wichita State, like, hey, don't forget about us. And that's kind of an upset in the making right there. And so I think seeing these young freshmen, seeing PJ Haggerty as well for K-State, have his breakout game as well, it was a big welcome to the college basketball season for everybody around the country. So
absolutely. I can't believe college basketball is already here.
Yeah.
Like, we're in the middle of that. But then, I mean, KU, K-State, Big 12 still focused on football too.
Yes.
So we're talking KU, K-State. My head keeps going to football for them. I know Wichita State, mainly basketball is cool, but I'm excited to see how KU, K-State football do finish out their seasons as we start to roll over into basketball. But
I think right now with where KSU and where KU are headed, and we talked about this 2 weeks ago as well, CFP out of the question, right? We're not talking CFP right now, and it's unfortunate because when you come into the season, K-State ranked number 17, there's a lot of high expectations. Unfortunately, that didn't quite happen this year. There was a lot of tough breaks in those games. I think they could have maybe one loss or an unblemished record. That's not the case right now. There were critical moments where mistakes were made. I go back to the game against Army. I go back to the game against Baylor. They had to close those out. They didn't. So right now, you're just had a tough loss to Texas Tech. KU in a lot better position. They steamrolled over OK State and were able to kind of, you know, flex their muscles a little bit with their offense. And that's the team that you got to beat up on, right? Because no Mike Gundy, defense is not great for the Cowboys. So that was basically, you know, I've heard this through a couple of outlets, the free space on the bingo card, so to speak, for Oklahoma State. And so basically KU was able to come out and get that win and to get themselves back set up. But KSU, you think they've taken a step back now because of that loss to Texas Tech, which I expected. But Tech's defense just, in that second half, I mean, ridiculous.
Avery Johnson, 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
So I feel like the defense really stepped up in that second half. And gave up 14 points heading into the end of the game. So that's where kind of K-State fell off. But, I mean, when you look at the numbers, though, Avery Johnson had a really good day. He still threw for nearly 200 yards, I think 199 to be exact. Yeah. And their receivers are still there. They had the pieces, and we saw those pieces when they played in the Sunflower Showdown. We saw what K-State's able to do. And, I mean, to follow up that momentum they built on the Showdown and head into a battle with a ranked team like Tech, that was tough. But, I mean, like you said, it was expected, but I don't think it's anything to get discouraged about. They still can move forward. They have a bye this week, and then they're back in action against Oklahoma State. So that'll kind of give them a little bit of a break right now to rest, recover, and try to just finish out the month strong. So, like you said, they can get into a bowl game. And I do think they still have that potential because the pieces are there. It's just finishing the year out still as motivated as when you start.
Yeah, and that first complete game that we really did see was against KU, but now KU, they're back on the right track. They're 1 win away from a bowl game. That's where their head's got to be. They got to make the trip down to Arizona this week, which is going to be a little bit difficult because of how Arizona played KSU at the beginning of the year. We saw the tape on that. But right now, if I'm Lance Leipold, I do have to be feeling good about where my team is, knowing that I picked that momentum back up from that homecoming win on Saturday.
Oh, absolutely. That was a big win for them. Yeah. I mean, what I think really stood out about that game was their running backs having Daniel Highshaw and Le'Shawn Williams both together. The 1-2 punch, I think that was very, very exciting for them, for the program, because, I mean, we haven't really seen that this season. And, I mean, they made their presence known together, over 140 yards and 3 touchdowns just from the run game. And on top of that, couple that with Jalen Daniels, of course, he's been playing well all year long. I think it's safe to say that he's done a great job finding his receivers, finding new receivers, working with tight ends this week. I mean, that was a nice week for them to, on the opposite side of K-State, to come off of a loss and then really find a rhythm again as they prepare to finish out the month.
That was a game that they needed badly.
Yeah,
it was. I mean, you had to rebound fast, and they certainly did it, and we're obviously thrilled to see both of these teams just a win or two away from getting to an extra game this season, which is, you get more practices when you get a bowl game. It gets your guys out there, especially the seniors. They get to kind of ride out on a high. So that's what's special to me in that regard, being able to get that opportunity to sort of play out the year with your folks. And
I can't complain about football during the holidays. That's the best time to watch. So hopefully we get to see them both in action around that time of year, December, January.
I'm nervous.
For what?
You want to know why I'm nervous?
Why are you nervous?
I'm nervous because here's the deal. There's a lot going on. So I thought it was funny because you've got college basketball. I heard Bill Self talk about this too in the press conference. He said, and it was hilarious, he goes, the reason why we've got UNC so early in the season, this KU-UNC game, is so they can compete with college football. Because right now college football is where all the ratings are. And he's like, I am so happy we get a 19-25 ranked matchup at the beginning of the year. It's the home and home schedule. They finally got it down. So I'm like, I don't know who's going to have the spotlight. I just don't know. And that's the thing that's killing me is, like, I got to know who's going to have
It'll probably be KU basketball.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it will be. I mean, taking on UNC, for sure, KU. And ranked games so early in the season are so fun to watch because it could just really set you up to tell you if these rankings are true at the moment. So I personally, that's probably the one. If I was a fan, as a reporter, of course, I'm going to cover them all. Yeah. But if I was a fan, I'd be looking at that basketball game and be excited for that.
And you know what's crazy about that basketball game? It's on Friday. And you know what else is on Friday? What? Friday Football Fever. So it's going to be a busy night for the sports department at KSN. And we're thrilled to bring it to you. So guess what? We're going to talk a little bit of high school football, potentially a little bit of high school hoops, how excited we are to get into that. And Chiefs, they're not done with the season yet, but things are falling fast after last week. So how KC can get back on the right track next. Welcome back to Double Coverage. I'm Michael Emami.
And I'm Asia Cymone Smith.
We have a lot of fun on the show, folks, by the way. Totally excited because we have high school football and the Kansas City Chiefs left to talk about, which is a jam-packed sports week. Tons of games still on the schedules. We're in regionals right now. Sectionals next week in Asia. As I said before, I'm a little bit sad because this means our show gets cut down a little bit.
Less games.
Because of less games and less teams, which I hate. I hate it.
Season's starting to fizzle out.
Yes, but that's the way it is.
Winter go home season.
Yes. And speaking of which, we've got plenty on the docket this week. We're going to be up in Hutch Friday afternoon. And we're excited because I can tell you what, this is a rematch of last year's sectional playoff game in which Hayes got the best of Hutch on its dream state run, 28-0. I think the Salt Hawks have got revenge on their mind.
Oh my goodness, I'm sure they do, but this year is going to be a tough one because both of the teams heading into this week have the same record. So I think that's kind of a crazy coincidence. Hayes, though, they are riding a 4-game winning streak, and with 4 wins this season, they've all been over 40 points. Well, they have more than 4 wins, but 4 of their wins have been over 40 points. So, I mean, it just tells you how strong that team is. We remember being there at their opening game, and now they're looking to close the season just as strong. So I'm really looking forward to see how they're doing. Actually, sorry, I messed that up. Hayes does have 4 wins over 40 points. Now, Hutch is going in on a 4-game streak. So that's where that is. And that's where it gets crazy because, I mean, Hutch is looking to keep that momentum moving forward. I haven't seen much of Hutch this year, but, I mean, just looking at how they are doing on the numbers, they're impressive. What do you think about these two?
So I think right now, Holden Lind on Hayes is a absolute force to be reckoned with. I don't want to keep pumping up one player. But I think the problem is...
We had a wide shot on
a little bit of a wide shot there. The problem is that when you have a player who is so dominant and can run between the tackles so well and is so good east to west as he is north to south downfield, that's where I get a little bit concerned if I'm the Hutch defensive line. Of course, we talked with both schools this week. Hutch is very confident, and they're confident because they have faced very difficult opponents before. They've faced great running in that class, and so especially in 5A, they have great running backs, plenty of Division I guys coming out of that class. So I think Lind will provide a tremendous amount of challenges.
Oh yeah.
But when we talked with Hutch this week, they didn't seem like they were fazed by it. They're like, okay, 1-11, we're going to get through. Do what we normally do, and we're going to get a stop. And I do think that having that confidence, especially with head coach Mike Vernon talking to us this week, they got a good shot. And I don't think it's going to be the same score that we saw last year. But I will tell you, the way Hayes has played this season, the one blowout loss that they had was against Great Bend. The scoring sheet would indicate that, but what it won't tell you was that the first 3 quarters was within 7 points. That's not necessarily fair to them on paper because it doesn't show you how back and forth the game was the first 3 quarters. The other loss was Manhattan. That one was 10-8. And Manhattan's also a really good team. So, and Tony Crow was funny. He goes, it's like, yeah, you know what? We're 7-2 right now, but we could also be like, we could also have 6 losses because I think 4 or 5 of their wins, he said, were by 1 score in the last minute of the game. So, but they're you know, They play with a lot of heart, and they keep you on your toes, and they're an exciting team to watch, and I can't wait to see us out there.
Very, and then when you get these rematches, there's always so much energy around them, and even just in general, being in the playoffs, there's so much energy. But I mean, that home field advantage does mean something. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see how this one plays out. These teams, to specify, 7-2, both of them this season. So, I mean, they know how to win. Clearly, they put the pieces together, and now it's just about executing when it matters most because this is what they've been ready for all season long. So I'm excited. It's hard. It's hard because it just really means that one of their seasons is going to end, and that's always unfortunate and frustrating, like you said, to have less and less games. But, I mean, both of them just such incredible programs, and I really don't think I can predict which way this one's going to go.
I don't want to predict which way this is going to go because I am always wrong, and it's.
So if you do predict though, you'll help them out. You'll let them know.
Well, okay. I give a lot of people inspiration.
Exactly.
And I can say that, but I think this one is one where I'm gonna, because the main thing is you have the lead up to this, and I just think that with how shocking this season has gone, and I was like, okay, that first game with Derby was incredible.
Insane.
Like, I had no idea, and I was talking again.
Hayes, he's talking about.
Or Hayes,
the
rather.
Hayes versus Derby.
Hayes Derby. When I talked with Coach Crow, and it's been 9 weeks since him and I caught up for Game of the Week. And he was like, you know what? You got to play this team. This is a tough team. Great measuring stick you get out there. If you want to play in state, you got to play a team like this. They go out there and they win. And I was like, okay, Hayes is for real. Because if you beat a team like Derby and you compete that well and that tight with a team like Manhattan, who knocked Derby out last year,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, this team is for real. I think they got a clear pathway to state, but yes, Hutch is going to provide a challenge. I'm not comfortable picking a side on this one at all, but I think it'll be a really tight game, no question. Game of the week, but there are plenty of other candidates this week too. I mean, you've got East and Mays. East defense has looked solid this year.
Oh yeah.
Mays is still undefeated, and that quarterback Myovella, who I apologize, I get his last name wrong. That's how it's pronounced. He is a stud, unbelievable arm, great, terrific runner. I mean, we've seen him scamper for like 60, 70-yard touchdowns this year. He's made our play of the week several times this year, as has Holden Lindon Hayes. But it's really a competition between those two, Asia.
Oh, absolutely. I think that one's going to be crazy. I mean, Mays, like you said, they've been playing so well.
Yeah.
You can just feel the energy around them. That's going to be a good one. But East always shows up when it matters. I mean, they have a good program. It's going to come down to defense, I think, for them. I'm excited to see how they do, though. But, I mean, really, it hurts to talk about this because, oh my goodness, I can't believe the seasons are ending.
Yeah, and State, by the way, is coming up. Full coverage on that coming your way at the end of the month. Saturday, I think November 29th.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I know it's a Saturday, but it's the 29th was our
Saturday
exact date.
after Thanksgiving.
Right.
So and Friday.
Yeah, so that will be a huge time for not only, us here at KSN, but also for the teams around the state. You've got, Emporia State hosting one branch of that, a lot of the higher classes, and then you've got Hutchinson, Gowan Stadium hosting some of the lower classes in that game, which is where we'll be. We'll be at both stadiums for those. Hopefully, we do get a lot of teams. We got the East and West clashing right now once again. So as we said, Asia, you hope to still have a very heavy show by the time you get to that point, but it does get challenging, especially when you've got to play, a lot of these bigger city schools outside of Kansas City, Overland Park. This is where it starts to get challenging, but you do see a lot of these local matchups where you get teams kind of eliminated down the stretch.
Well, I want to tell you one more local matchup that I'm looking forward to this week. It's Andover Central and Capon.
Yeah.
Capon's been playing so well this year. Their one loss was to St. James, which isn't even in the same class. I mean, they are looking incredible. They are looking like they are ready to go back to state. We know a couple of years back, they were runner-ups, and I feel like that has really fueled them. They recruited, well, I won't say recruited, but they got guys on their roster this year that they needed from basketball, from other sports, and they put the pieces together. Yeah. And but Andover Central is also a really incredible team. Yeah. They've been doing a great job, so I feel like that's a really fun matchup to see there. But I'm ready. I'm ready to see these championships start to piece together slowly.
Yeah, Andover Central, also a former state champion last year, had to regroup their entire defense.
Yeah, a big
they've
change.
Made the most out of that, and they've done a great job with it. Head coach Derek Tuttle is obviously a legend in this area, so he's been very successful before, and I'd like to see Coach Sharts and Coach Tuttle go at it.
Oh yeah,
Friday.
they will.
That's
they definitely not physically, not against each other literally, but as their teams, they definitely will.
Yes,
they're both great people. So nice, such nice people.
Wonderful people, and we've had some great stories on them, and we will continue to have that for you right here on KSN. I am excited. I think this is going to be a great Friday. It's also going to be a great Sunday for Chiefs fans, and a bad Sunday as well, because they won't get to see their team win or lose being on the bye week.
Extra sleep.
Yes, extra
sleep. Gotta enjoy it.
A little less, terrifying.
And a little decompression
cardiac,
maybe from the decompressing from the trade deadline.
Yes.
They get a week to just embrace who we got on the roster and just keep moving forward, pushing through November, because it's a tough month. Yeah. This is a detrimental month. That's the right word, right? Detrimental month for the Chiefs as they're trying to figure out their placement in the playoffs. Yeah. It's getting scary. And I mean, they're going to the Broncos. So that's going to be interesting. But I mean, when you look back, they got a lot, can I say a lot of work to do? Yeah. When you look back at that, based on my gradings for them, I did give them a D on defense and a C+ on offense. I guess I could say they do have a lot of studying and work to do coming off of that Bills game. Yeah. So, I mean, what was your impression of, what you saw with the Bills there?
I was ticked.
He loves that word.
Ticked.
He's going to say it as many times as he can.
Ticked. I was so mad. The thing is, Buffalo didn't. So the thing is, the scoreline, it reflects a game that was not actually the case, right? Buffalo really had control of that game from start to finish.
Mahomes' worst performance in his career. Yeah, 44%.
Even think he threw a touchdown in that game, which was insane to me. Like he it was just a really rough outing for everybody, including the defense. And I was shocked. And I told Jeff, on the Rush, which we do here every Monday and Friday, I told Jeff, I was like, how in the world do you have this poor of a performance in Buffalo? I thought it was going to be a tight contest, no question about that. I thought the Chiefs were going to come out on top by 3 to 7 points. Not only did they not do that, they came out on the losing end of it and didn't look like they were in the game for the vast majority either.
Yeah, no. Well, Buffalo does not like them, so they did not have that. I don't know, when you said you're not sure how they could perform that bad in Buffalo, at the same time that the numbers were against them, I will say. But yeah, it was. I was just like a fever dream. I'm trying to remember it, and it hurts. It hurts to think about.
Yeah.
It was not great, like you said. I'm trying to think. Harrison Butker nailed his two field goals, so there's positive there.
We focus on the positive, right?
I'm like, what can
There's a lot of positive things to focus on.
Yeah.
A lot of positive things to focus on.
But Mahomes couldn't really throw the ball.
No.
It was not great.
It wasn't even snowing outside.
Oh, yeah, like last year. Oh, my goodness, that game was crazy.
Yeah.
Good grief. Fans are crazy to be out there and getting hypothermia. But I will say Travis Kelce, it looked decent.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. He's looked decent all year. I want to point that out because people thought Travis Kelce was washed and that he was done for, but he's been playing really well. He's had some big receptions in the last few games, and they have other great receivers. I mean, like we have Rice, we have Worthy. All those pieces are there as far as receiving, but Buffalo's defense came in and shut all that passing game down, and that's where they really were able to take over. So I really hope that the Chiefs are able to figure it out so that doesn't happen again against another opponent, but I think it might have just been the Bills and a little bit of maybe pressure through that rivalry. I'm not sure.
You got Denver coming up the following week. This is a
AFC
game.
West.
Yeah, AFC West. Like the sunflower showed down, like the.
I get hyped.
She gets hyped. She gets
AFC
hyped.
West.
Yes, AFC West. Denver is a team that's a little bit more lucky to me than good. I think that they have the talent. I think Pat Surtain's been great on defense. I think Bo Nix has looked pretty solid this year. But to me, I think this game is going to be a real test of wills. I think, especially for Denver. To me, Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes said it best in the presser. He was like, we've lost enough.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think they have lost enough. And now is the time where they got to level up. And if they don't win this game, they're staring down a 5-5 record, 500. You really want to get the top seed going into the postseason. Not that they haven't done that before, but this is where it gets really challenging.
Absolutely. That's going to be, another very important, crucial game for where they're ending up. And I don't know about the top seed. It's a tough competition all around, but I definitely do think the Chiefs have potential to beat Denver. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's going to be easy. No game, of course, is going to be easy, but I definitely think they can piece it together and figure it out. Hopefully Pacheco will be back on the field. I mean, Kareem Hunt's been holding it down. They got Brashard Smith out there now. I almost said the freshman, the rookie out there. He's been making strides as well, but hopefully they could get their run game back since, we didn't want to pick up any specific running backs. I don't know. Does somebody come to mind? I don't know.
Maybe he starts with a Brees and ends with a Hall?
I don't know. Not him. No, but I really do hope that the run game comes together. Everything comes together because they have what it takes, and I do think the Chiefs can. I think I'm taking the Chiefs over the Broncos, honestly.
I would say the same. You got to think positive. We think positive here on KSN.
Of course.
And double coverage. And we'll catch you next week, same place, same time, with more outlook and predictions on the Chiefs and high school football in sectionals. Thanks for joining us.